It's the Geek Speak show out of Walker Stalker in San Francisco. With us is the Pumpkin Geek. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
So it's not October, obviously. It's kind of hot. Well, it's kind of raining.
It's always October in my world.
Us too. See, to me, everybody, all you regulars, you know, Halloween is a year-long thing for me, not just in October. So I had to come and talk to this one.
Definitely.
So we see the pumpkins, obviously. So
Yes.
Why do we call you the Pumpkin King?
Well, these are artificial pumpkins, number one. That's the first thing that everybody asks. I hand carve only on pumpkins. They last forever, and everything I do is custom order. And I've shipped them around the world to Australia, Great Britain, Canada, pretty much anywhere. There's fans of everything. So it's a pretty wide open business for me.
Yeah, and like I said, it's the Pumpkin Geek. So I'm assuming this started on a Halloween. You started carving pumpkins, and then it just grew from there.
It did. I used to just want to be the cool neighbor, that had all the cool pumpkins. But of course they would die. My wife had me carve a pumpkin for her office. It was in early October, so I said, well, why don't I try these fake pumpkins? And it was a really easy logo to do, and I did it, and I got 35 orders, and so literally that's how it happened. She said, people are asking for your business card. I go, for what?
Yeah.
And she goes, for your business. And so I said, I don't know, make up some cards on the internet. And she said, what do you want to call yourself? I said, how about the Pumpkin Geek? I've been a comic book geek, a sci-fi geek all my life and everything like that. And
so why not a Pumpkin Geek?
Yeah, so this is a perfect transfer of the use of the name Geek.
Yeah, and speaking of geeks, we are the Geek Speak show, so obviously there's a lot of faces we recognized on here.
Definitely.
And somebody might be wondering, well, do you have permission to do that? I'm sure you do, but
no, actually I don't. It's like any artistic format. I'm not mass producing 1,000 of Sherlocks. This is all hand done art. I always liken it to a tattoo artist. I don't think the tattoo artists are calling up The Walking Dead and say, do we have your permission to tattoo Negan? So it's a different medium because I'm not a manufacturer. I'm an artist.
Right. Had to ask though, because I know some people wonder when you see that. Well, do they have permission to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly why.
If I was doing it in a machine, and just popping them out, then I'm sure I would have to have permission. But no, each one is individually hand done. I use a Dremel and I carve each one. It takes about 4 or 5 hours per product.
It's actually where I was going to go. Is about how long? Which one would you say is the most intricate you've done? Of the ones you have
here it's hard to tell. This U2 one I just did for. It's not necessarily in the geek world, but my brother-in-law turns 50. He's a huge U2 fan.
Well, there's music geeks.
Oh
too.
Yeah, exactly. So we got him tickets to the concert, and I did that for him. So there's multiple faces in there. I've got one on my website that's a Star Wars battle scene, a spaceship with explosions and everything. That one took about 6.5 hours. It was pretty complicated.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be a little popular after a little teaser we got.
Yeah, exactly.
This week. Well, see, also you got the Geeky Award there.
I did. That was the first year they had them, and I was up for Best Art and Craft, and I ended up winning, and it was a great experience. And now I actually become a guest judge every year of that category.
Okay. So if anybody's wondering, how do I get one? How do they get one?
The Geeky Awards, you have to go online. I think the submissions are usually around midsummer, and you submit your work, and then the judges go through, the 50, 60, 80 entrants that are per category, and then they whittle it down to 5 nominees.
Right.
So it's done kind of like Walker Stalker. It's by fans and by artists and by people that are in that industry. So, for example, there's a cosplay category. So there's professional cosplayers that are actually the judges. It's not just, Bob down the road judging, who's the hottest chick.
People don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. People who actually have some type of proven track record or some type of name recognition in the industry.
Yeah, we've heard of them actually, and there's other people watching who are saying, well, not the Geeky Awards, the pumpkins. How do I get one of those?
Oh, the pumpkins. Well, if you want to
get
get a pumpkin, you can go to my website, which is thepumpkingeek.com, or you can email me, alexpumpkingeek@gmail.com. I take orders year-round, believe it or not. A lot of times I get really swamped, if you can, big surprise, before Halloween. So people actually order them as Christmas gifts. So, they kind of miss the rush, which is great.
So do they pick from whatever design you have, or do they tell you what to make?
Everything is custom order. I mean, if they go on my website and they see something they like, I can certainly redo it. But if somebody calls up and they say, hey, I want a Spider-Man, but I want the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or I want the Andrew Garfield or the new one, as long as I can find an image online, then I can usually find it. If they want something specific, as long as it's a high-res image, I have to approve it as the artist, because sometimes pictures don't quite translate as well as you'd think because of the lighting and everything. Right. But that's how the process goes.
Okay, the website one more time.
It's thepumpkingeek.com.
Okay, pretty easy to find.